Welcome to the DG Show with Dana and Coco again. We're presently live. We're presently live on YouTube, TikTok, as well as Facebook. Facebook, the DG Show with Dana and Coco. YouTube, the Angry Black Dude Station, and TikTok, the Angry Black Dude. We're working on getting about 5 or 6 up and running at the same time. DG Show with Dana and Coco again. We're presently live.
You had to go. Well, we're talking about
thank you.
The Incel community, or as Derek says, the Incel men. It's a community of men. Mostly, I think when I looked into this, I had never heard of this. Incel stands for involuntary celibacy.
Involuntary celibacy.
Involuntary celibacy.
It's a men's move. Ain't no women in there, is it?
There's a woman there,
really?
But she's not liked. She's not liked. She's there because she wants to. She's a mole.
She's just trying to pick their brain.
She's just trying to see what's going on, why they're doing what they're doing, because apparently there is several men from that have been a part of this group that has gone on a killing spree.
Really?
Yes, that have killed women. This one guy, I can't remember everybody's name, he ran into a group of people that killed 10 people, 8 being women. He did it on purpose and he wanted to do that.
Right.
And the one guy left a 120-page manifesto.
Damn.
Yes, about how and he left a video. Was
there a consistent theme of why they were disgruntled? It was the fact
they hated women because women don't like them, because women detest them, because they can't have a relationship.
They can't get a woman.
They can't get a woman, and they're angry at women. Now, I noticed some characteristics about them all. They're usually the guy that I guess now I'm gonna say one statistic.
Awkward looking.
The awkward person. One statistic that they said that many of them were autistic.
Oh, okay.
And they were trying to see if being autistic, they tried to say that autistic people don't have a violent streak, although some of them do. Right. Apparently autism has spectrums. Right. And so there are some of the guys that did things like this were autistic, or they were socially awkward, Asperger's syndrome, things like that. Right. And so they deemed women to be evil. And they have in this group, they talk about it, they make fun of women, they target women. This one guy.
Then it's not okay. So I don't mean to interrupt. So then they're not actually looking for a way to improve.
No, this one guy, he's called the catfisher, right? Okay. So what he does is he catfish women and then set up a meeting.
He catfish them with fake pictures.
With fake pictures and stuff.
Right.
And then he set up a meeting with them. He shows up to the meeting and then he just berates them. He called them names.
You couldn't go out with me.
And all sorts of things like that. They're not interested in necessarily, I didn't hear anything about them necessarily wanting to improve themselves.
Wow.
To be better, to be able to, for women to like them, have better
personalities. So it's just a complaining group.
It's a mental illness. It's a mental illness.
Please not put everything on. All right,
these
explain.
Guys have mental illness. They have low self-esteem.
That's not a mental illness.
You have to watch this documentary I watched. They have mental illnesses. They have issues. They're depressed. But they blame all these things on women.
And that's where I'm lost at though. Because if Well, I guess if the blame is the women, you're not going to want to see that.
They didn't say that women made fun of them.
Right.
They didn't say they're just not lucky with women. And they call it the Chad syndrome. They would say that women, they'll date Chad because Chad is an all-around guy. He has a great personality.
Right.
He looks good. He
The
has
outgoing,
a smile,
right? I got
outgoing
you.
guy.
Right.
And because they're not outgoing and all of this, then they can't get the women that they want.
But Chad wasn't always Chad. It's very few that started off in elementary school as not having the hair they didn't want, or the clothing, or all of that. Everybody grows into themselves unless you're privileged with money at a very early age or something like that. But other than that, you go through things even but it's all about improving yourself.
Well, sometimes it's a process.
It is.
Because
it's always a process.
Parents sometimes tend to hold their children back because they feel like their children,
they're protecting
sometimes them. They're not. They say they feel like they're protecting them, but they're not really protecting them.
No, they don't even disservice them.
They say sometimes that they're not old enough and things like that. And I really don't understand when I listen to parents what is old enough for them. Because I've seen parents allow, let's say, for example, allow their daughter to talk to guys at like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to guys. I'm not saying go out on dates alone. Right. I'm not saying have sex.
But be able to start that process.
Talk to guys. Right. Start that process. And then I know parents who won't allow their daughter to talk to boys until, say, 18.
And they be 18 in one day?
Because it's a little late. It's a little late. Because
they feel as though they missed out, so they gonna play catch up, and they usually mess up
because they have friends that are doing these things
slowly.
And not to say that they have to do what their friends are doing, but it's a process because you don't want your child to for you to let her go at 18 and then she finds herself in a position of trying to figure out how to be comfortable around guys. If you let them have male and female friends along the way, they are more comfortable around guys. They're not uncomfortable. They know how to speak to them. And it's not so easy for guys to take advantage of them in that way.
Definitely. I agree.
Right. Because it's not anything they've never done versus 18, my first date, first time talking to a guy.
Not even just that. Not even just that. Think about, like you just said, there's a teenage boy or girl, and their parents aren't letting them do stuff. But they know their friends coming back, and boy, I went on a date now. So they're watching their friends slowly get freedoms that they don't have. They busting at 8. They have a master plan at 18 to do everything. And usually they mess up because it's too fast. They doing stuff they can't handle.
Have a kid.
All that kind of stuff. Get involved with drugs. All that kind. Yeah.
First time out.
A lot of that happens because, like you say, the grooming is not there to slowly allow them to be, because nobody becomes an adult like that. You have to slowly give them freedoms with responsibilities.
Just
also
educate them.
Yeah, just educate them.
Teach them and educate them.
But I never understood a parent that don't teach their child just certain realities. I got my education
from my brother.
Or your siblings. I agree.
My brother was doing it
all.
I
agree. My brother was too.
And he was showing me and telling me what to do, what not to do, how to do, and all of that. So I thank my brother for that, but it wasn't necessarily the right way. My mother let him tell me, but it wasn't the right way.
But you
in
learned.
My opinion. But I learned.
But but it's not. But it's right. But see, lessons come a lot of times in ways that
it didn't save me from the process, though. It didn't.
I don't think anything. And I think that's what a lot of folks and a lot of these incel men, in my opinion.
They were sheltered.
But we men, boys, we hear no most of the time when we're trying to date. We hear no most of the time. When we go, we see a woman at a grocery store. Hey, how you doing?
They're not able to cope.
They can't cope with it. Right.
Aren't able to cope.
Right.
They're not able to cope with the no. I've experienced somebody not able to cope. I mean, how many times, and I know a lot of women can relate to this. You're out minding your business or not, and a guy try to talk to you and you're like, no thank you, oh, F you, B, F you anyway, don't nobody want you ugly, this, you know, who hasn't experienced that? I don't know too many girls who haven't experienced that. I know one young lady that I know, and she was in Atlanta at the time. She and her friends, and a guy came up to them and tried to get their number. They said no, and he pulled out a gun.
Damn, what the hell?
The gun's gonna make me give you my number now?
Yeah,
really?
His ego was that hurt?
He was hurt that he want to pull out a gun. Give me your number.
Yeah, boy. I was waiting for you to pull a gun out. I was going to give you my number.
I give you my number now.
Yeah, boy, you about that life. That's what I was looking for.
That's you kind of gun. I'm gonna give you my number now. That I was like, he pulled out a gun. Wow. Yes.
That's a lot.
But this is the type of stuff. And there was a young lady here in Baltimore. I think the guy did kill her because she didn't give him my number.
I remember that.
Vaguely, I remember that.
So
that. You guys can't be out here.
You can't, but
women because they're not giving you the number. And I don't think that's necessarily an incel guy. But
that's not gonna be an incel guy. That's a guy that's out there acting, but that's somebody whose emotions, he has no control over his emotions. He feels as though he's supposed to get whatever he wants when he wants it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Researching this, when you telling me about this was the first time I've ever heard of it.
Okay.
And researching it was very disturbing. And I started to get out pen and paper and write down these guys' names that did all these things. Right. And I said, I don't want to know. I stopped at it. So I don't want to read any more about these guys. I don't want to see any more videos. There's documentaries dedicated to them.
I didn't know it's documentary. I just saw some videos on YouTube. And
it's news shows, ABC news shows dedicated to them. You know, like those ABC News where,
I got you.
What's that guy that do the
Chris Hansen?
Yeah, Chris Hansen show, that type of show.
Oh, yeah?
Those dedicated to these guys. And I mean, and they have a group. It's supposed to be a support group, is what it's supposed to be.
That was my perception of it. That was my perception.
For them to support each other.
Which means improving and having understanding.
But they're not. This one guy.
They just
one guy, they interviewed this guy who said he left the group because he didn't want to be a part of a group who supported those injustices or crimes, if you will, that a few of them had done, because the guys in the group, they supported them like they were some type of hero or something.
Yes.
And they have memes about it. Right. Just tearing women down.
So this is on just a little bit wider level, as because we were talking before.
It's a small group, mind you.
It's definitely a small group, but it's a lot of men that think that way. It's a lot of men that think that way. It's the whole Kevin Samuels trying to get women to put them in the box to accept men less than. You feel them? That's what Kevin Samuels said. Well, the average man make 36,000. You women live off of that. Oh, you need to be able to deal with that. But if that's not her standards, but they try to put them back in that box of just accept the man as he is. And a lot of times the men need to improve and end with.
What I got from Kevin Samuels wasn't accept the man as he is. What I got from him was accept the man as you are, that's on your level, because you're nothing. And so if he makes 36,000, that's all you deserve. That's what I got from Kevin.
That is a big piece of it. But you've heard him have conversations about, are you willing to accept a man making this amount of money? Mm-hmm. And most women be like, nah, that's not enough. And he'd be like, well, that's not realistic because most of the men make this amount of money. Right. So it was a reality thing. But to an extent, it was, y'all need to remember, he always go back to the past and how certain generations lived and all those kinds of things. But the average household can't live off of no 36,000. Well, how you going to live? That's not, and that's a piece of what we're talking about as far as men not being able to get women. If they're not willing to improve themselves, if they're not willing to look at today's society and say, well, yeah, I can, it's a million hustles online right now.
I mean, but you can't expect everybody to have, all right, because it starts with the relationships you're having in the home, right? You have your relationship between your parents, your relationship with each of your parents.
Yeah.
If you have a relationship with each of your parents, who's raising you, your guardian, whomever that may be.
Right.
It could be a grandmother, it could be an aunt, something like that. Those are some of the things that some of these guys had in common. And many of them had both parents. They may have, say, a father who drank too much.
Right.
They may have a mother who was abused. You know, it's several. But it's still variables.
I'm with you on that.
But you can't expect. What I'm saying is, you can't expect people to just have the same ideology that you have.
No, but what it's not specifically. You got to be able to have a hustle. But if your goal is to have a woman, you need to do things that attract women. You can't bitch about it. You can't complain about it. If you feel as though, like you said, the guy that was doing the catfishing, he was catfishing with pictures of a man that's very well in shape. Because even his perception is women like
this
that
is the
more.
Guy that the woman's gonna go with.
Right. So
instead of me trying to working live up to being this guy,
right?
Well, I mean, you gotta be yourself.
No, but
then you can't pretend to be someone else to get it.
But then you can't complain about it. No, I agree with you there. Don't do that. But if you understand that's what women like, well, you might not get big and cocky, but get in shape. Be active.
Maybe not even that. You don't even have to be in shape and all of that.
But no,
personality.
That's not what we're talking about.
Being a
that's not what we're talking about.
Decent human being will get you somebody.
I agree with that.
There's a lid for every pot.
I agree with that.
I really believe in that.
But as a man, if we perceive something that women like, we're not so. We either say I can deal with that and I'm gonna work towards that, or I already have that, or nah, she not
whatever
for me.
Your perception is, yes.
Right. Whatever the perception is, it goes that way.
Live up to your perception.
Right. So if you feel as though you don't want to date a girl that's into muscles, why are you mad about the girl dating the dude that's
into muscles?
Right. You just complaining.
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
If you a geek and you like anime and all that kind of stuff, and I hope I ain't offending nobody, but you can't say nothing nowadays. But anyway,
anime fan. If you're not an
I said geek. No, I said geek. So, but if you're in that, you know what I'm saying? You will find women that love that.
They love that. There are women that love that.
It depends on what you, but you can't. And I'll say this with men also. We're all physical as far as when we see. For the most part, we all think the same women are beautiful. For the most part. You understand what I'm saying? For the most part. So in our minds, all of us want that or that perception or that, but
I think women are confused about women.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. But that's levels to you ain't supposed to be high on that certain women. It's just, and I ain't gonna look. I promise you, this year you probably had a dude with no teeth standing outside of a corner store talking, "Hey baby, how you doing? Boy, you look nice. I take you to lunch." Right? All of us think we could. She gonna, I got her. No, that's not reality. But we be and then our feelings be hurt.
I don't take them serious. They're not serious.
Shit.
They're not serious. They're not. Shit. They just messing with you.
They said, no. I agree. Some of them are just playing. Some of them are serious. They peeped you when you got out the car. Oh, look at that woman. How you doing?
Yeah, I don't take it serious.
Let me pump that gas for you. Like that's gonna get the number.
I don't take them serious. I say hi, smile, hey, laugh, you know, that type of thing. But I don't take that serious.
But yeah. So in my opinion, I am.
You judge it. It is what it is.
It is, because you can't complain and not work at something. That's not how life works in anything. If you complaining about how much money you make, but you choose to stay, we're going to go back to Hopkins employees. Remember when the hospital employees were complaining about low wages, and they were complaining about they've been working them jobs for so many years and they didn't get raises, and they had rallies for them and all that shit. And then come to find out they asses could have went to school for free.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
That's what I'm talking
you
about.
Trying to apply logic to nonsensical stuff. You can't apply logic to this stuff, to the nonsense people do. They're not applying logic.
Right.
It's nonsense.
I agree. Then you can't complain. That's what I'm saying.
They are complaining about it.
They complaining a lot.
Very upset about it. I mean, very upset.
It's striking them out.
Will attack a woman.
Right.
These guys,
right.
they sit in there, they interview, a couple of guys, and they're in their homes, behind their computer, on their keyboards,
right,
trolling.
Yeah.
Just trolling.
Yeah.
And
looking for something to fuss about.
In the chat rooms, cursing people out, debating with people, calling names. They get hot about it. They start calling you names. These are these people.
Now let me ask you something. So, because I didn't read it, but when we were talking, some fool on TikTok said something like, "I get my woman from other countries." Now, even the way he said it, I know he was lying, but
that's a whole nother.
But it's a piece of the same.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of brothers talking about they going somewhere else to get another kind of woman that ain't here, but she here.
Because if she were here, she wouldn't deal with him.
Ah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same mentality.
She's ignorant to what our way of life, so to speak.
She's very ignorant to our way of life, so she's gonna do what she's told.
Right. She's ignorant to all she know is, because he says he gets his women from another country. I'm curious to know what country is, right? Because even women in other countries are still women.
They still women. They still gonna have standards.
They have their standards.
Yep.
And they have their cultural standards.
Wait a minute.
And they have their personal and cultural standards.
And a lot of their cultural standards, a lot of that weight
you don't meet.
No, wait a minute. Right. Because the men in their culture carry weight with their decisions.
Yes. And this is also where they mentioned a lot of terms that I've heard. Toxic masculinity. Right. Misogyny. A couple of other terms. They mentioned all of these terms, and so these were terms they were using as personality and characteristics of themselves, because this is who they become as a result of the poor treatment of women. Yeah, and
I'm saying,
and one doctor, doctor indicated that it was it starts with a relationship with their mothers, where their mothers didn't treat them a certain way. They didn't get the attention. They didn't get the love, the hugs, the nurturing from their mothers.
Right.
And so because of that, well, that you still needed it. You still needed it.
I'm not saying you didn't need it. I'm saying.
But just because you turn 18 and you're considered grown now,
I'm not
you
saying
did
that.
not get the nurturing that you needed by way of osmosis.
I'm not saying
and so now, because I'm grown, I need to just get over it and move on.
No, because I don't operate that way.
You gotta do that work.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna keep getting back to. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you realize a shortcoming, it don't have to be everything. It don't have to be everything that you missed out on. It don't have to be everything that you want to be. If you're not picking out something to work on and you just wallowing in your own misery.
Well, you have to first know that you have an issue.
They in the misery. They see a whole bunch of other men walking around happy.
Because they're not the only one that feel that way.
I agree.
If they were the only ones that felt that way, then okay.
But like you said, it's enough to get attention, but it's not. They see happy couples every day.
This one guy, he said, when I see happy couples, I say, I hate them. Look at them. I have nobody.
See what I'm saying?
I was like, what?
Right. Something's wrong with that.
That's what comes to mind.
Something's wrong with that.
Not how can I get that if that is what I want.
Right, bam.
What do I need to do?
That's all I'm saying.
So perhaps some guy who are lucky with the ladies can appeal to these type of men and have a class, if you will.
I think
a
they
workshop.
do. I think they do.
To develop yourself, personal development.
You gotta want to do it though.
Well,
you just said it. You gotta want to do the work.
Infiltrate the group.
Ain't nobody with no sane mind going in there and sitting and wallow with them.
Guys, and get all those guys to come. And
I'm gonna go in there and sell some ignorant T-shirts that they gonna buy.
It is terrible. I mean, I had to stop watching it. What I saw was very disturbing.
Wow, wait a minute. Somebody said, I've been hearing the passport rhetoric since middle school. Some of my male family and no wives. no, but that basically they was lying or they was going over there.
What is it?
She said on my male family and no wives, meaning they never got married. They were just going over there having sex, freaking, which is most of them.
Having sex and
listen, a long distance relationship is say Baltimore to North Carolina, maybe Baltimore to Texas,
Florida,
or Florida, not Brazil, not
Germany.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's like how often do you see? I don't care how much you talk to them. How much do you can't build a relationship that way. It's a lot.
Build a relationship on FaceTime.
Not in that instance where he's going.
I'm still shocked that Catfish is a show, because have you ever watched Catfish before?
No.
So,
but they be video and don't.
No, that's I don't understand how someone can get catfished right now.
I'm gonna be honest. Listen, this was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Chatting with a sister, she was commenting or whatever. And we were good. The conversation was decent, so we started calling each other. And she was sending me pictures, but she never wanted to FaceTime.
Catfish.
And I was just like, and I got it went on for a couple of weeks. So I got to a point. I was like, yeah, don't holler at me unless you want FaceTime.
Right.
When she was FaceTiming me, she wouldn't.
Looking at the ceiling.
All that kind of stuff. But she had the show, and I was just like, you don't look like none of your pictures.
Catfish.
All right, then.
That was the catfish. That's the catfish characteristics right there.
But how do you not at a certain point be like, no, I'm good?
The guy niece would be like, so how long have you been talking to her? Oh, we've been talking for a year.
What?
You talked a whole year.
And never video and ain't never seen them?
Can't FaceTime with. This one guy, he sent her an iPhone. What? He sent her an iPhone because she didn't have a decent phone. It was always problems. She couldn't FaceTime.
That's
now
funny.
But usually the couple of times that I've watched it,
mm-hmm.
it's usually been like somebody they know who had a crush on them, really? Or somebody they know who didn't like them and was trying to set them up, or something like that. Like they knew the person. It was like
that's a waste of time. That's a waste of time.
My baby mother's girlfriend, or something like crazy, stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, but there'd be some folks that be really thinking that when the person meet, well, I just figured I needed you to know the real me. No, you lied. You lied. But that's the same thing too. Yeah. You know what somebody actually likes, mm-hmm. and you refuse to work towards it, and then you're mad when they don't accept. Yeah. But
I was catfished as a teenager, way back when, like before I was even old enough to date.
He was real short.
One of his legs was shorter than the other.
Here we go. I'm listening.
Well, I mean, I was too young to be dating anyway. I couldn't date, but we talked on the phone. He lived in East Baltimore. I lived in West Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And we talked on the phone probably a year and a half, almost 2 years.
How old were you?
Probably was like 13 or something.
Yeah, you was.
I couldn't go.
Right. You couldn't go nowhere. I got you.
Eyes or nothing. And years later, when we finally connected, he had to catch the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And
a discount pass.
And then, I had all the guys in the neighborhood with me hanging around. I'm like, yo, this dude is coming.
Right.
So y'all got to see him. They like, yeah. And he come around that corner. I was like,
You seen pictures of him?
No.
Okay.
How? We didn't have.
Yeah. I guess did you get mail? Did you get a picture?
You know.
Did he mail you a picture?
And foul, you know. And I was in shock. I mean, he came around, he was cool enough. I didn't like, ew, go home. You know, I
but
didn't
he
do
knew that was a possibility,
I'm not a person
though.
that would treat anybody bad.
But he knew it was a possibility.
I mean, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but he had to prepare, because being that, he has to prepare himself mentally for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wasn't mean to him.
So, but that's like confidence within him. That's without telling you. That's confidence.
He gave me a diamond watch.
Damn.
He had stolen it from his mother. He stole it from his mother.
Balling out.
He gave me this watch. I was like,
did you have to get it back?
Watch? I did. My mother called his mother and gave that lady her watch back.
That's funny. That's funny.
It was, yeah. So I was catfished. And I mean, well, I call it catfish because he was nothing like
what he talked about
himself to be. Yeah, the way he talked and all of that.
I've heard women say they
like
pop up at dates and dudes be like 5'2".
Yeah, no, I can't. Oh man, I wanted to tell this story. I can't. My girlfriend would kill me. I want to say it, but I don't want to say no names. Might have told somebody else the story.
Oh no, it's so much. But again, it's not as bad as the incel man. No, but it's still a symptom of the same
it's the type
thing.
Of things that people do to you can't deceive anybody to win them over. That'll never work.
It'll never work.
If you're deceiving, if you start this relationship off deceiving,
as soon as they find out,
you can't carry on that lie. As soon as they find out,
you definitely can't carry on a hype lie.
Done. Right. You can't tell me you 6 feet tall, come around you 5 feet tall, and I'm gonna be okay with that.
See,
and it's not.
I knew you was like that.
It's not even that you're 5 feet tall. It's that you lied.
You lied about something small about yourself.
So small.
About you, something that was very evident.
Just be right. Something very evident. Just be you.
That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna pick you up on the first day in the car. You're gonna get in. You're gonna take y'all to the drive-thru.
All right, let me tell you real quick. Listen. So he did lie about his height. And he pulled up, big old truck. He hopped out the truck.
He couldn't climb down. He had to hop out.
Jumped off the truck.
She fell out.
Yeah, she's like, damn. It's like, oh my. And she's 5'2".
And he was smaller than her? That was 4'9".
He wasn't a little person. He wasn't a little person. He was just a short guy. He was not a little person. He was just a short guy.
So she's 5'2". So he about 4'9", 4'8".
5 feet maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She couldn't do it. See. But he lied.
He lied.
He lied.
You can't lie. If you just say I'm 5 feet. I'm not that tall.
I know they got a little group. I know they got groups for every damn thing. You can find what you want or what you're looking for. You definitely can.
Don't join a group. I don't care what you're looking for. Don't join a group. It's not. No. A group of y'all together ain't gonna make.
That's not. I'm not talking about joining a group in that manner. I'm just talking about as far as a dating group with people under a certain height. They got dating groups for almost everything. I'm talking about something like that. Not like the incel where you just.
I mean, there are women who like short guys.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just like there's women that like real big dudes, real fat dudes. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you can find it. There's no need to eat. That's what it all. It's gonna go back to this incel. Same thing. You will find women that are into.
Instead of joining that incel group,
right?
Why don't you join
whatever you into
of women
of a hobby that you have,
like yourself?
Yeah,
a hobby that you have. Yep. The personality that you have, the characteristics that you have. There are groups for that, yes.
Now so I'm taking notes, of course.
You took notes on this incel stuff?
I didn't watch a whole lot of it, just the thoughts.
Okay.
But I was thinking about some of the reasons why some men may not be getting dates and they don't know or understand. And it's something that keeps coming up on social
Well,
media.
something you have to get from in front of your computer.
That's
or
a
your
definite. You
game.
got to go outside. You got
That's
to go
number
outside.
one. You have to go outside.
You got to go outside. But a lot of folks talk about people with hygiene issues. And if you have hygiene issue and you don't think you do, I've seen people online talk about I take a bath once a week. You ain't getting no date. I don't care who you are. You're not. You dirty. You're not getting no date.
And you probably smell.
And right. And if you're not washing yourself that much, you ain't brushing your teeth that much either.
You're not brushing your teeth. Hygiene. You can't just brush your teeth when it's time for the date. You can't just take a bath that day.
Right.
This is a regular routine that you need to have.
But
washing
from
and
what
brushing.
we've been seeing on social media and people talking about hygiene, that's a factor that a nice percentage of Americans don't bathe on a regular or don't have a daily hygiene routine.
Did you see the video where they had the line down the middle and they had the two groups of people? Oh no, they had the one line and you had to go to either side.
Okay.
And I think there was if you didn't wash your legs whenever you washed up. And the one girl, and she stood in the line for somebody who don't wash their legs. And the guy said, "You don't wash your legs?"
Right. Right.
And she said, like, what's the big deal?
Hygiene.
Like, you don't wash your legs. She said, well, if you count when I shave them, I do. He says, do you wash daily? She said, yeah. And you don't wash your legs.
And you don't wash daily.
To her, it was because the soap trickled down or something that it gets to her legs, and then because
it starts up top and it goes down.
She's washing all up here and it rinses off. And
trickle down hygiene.
Right. Right. So I'm assuming also she don't wash her feet, because that was one thing. That was one thing
hygiene
that my grandmother said. You see somebody with dirty feet, they don't wash their tail, because there's no way in the world you got dirty feet and you wash your tail, because your feet step in the tub or shower first.
Right.
So you can't possibly wash your tail if you don't wash your feet.
I ain't even. That's so. She don't wash her feet.
If she don't wash her feet, she don't wash her legs.
You dirty. If you get in the tub and you don't wash,
that's nasty.
You're supposed to wash your whole body.
Use a washable. Use a cloth.
Or a loofah.
A loofah. And they have these loofah gloves now. A waterfall. It's called a waterfall. They have these loofah gloves now. I love those gloves. It exfoliates your skin.
Okay.
And get your legs. Oh,
get everything.
Everything.
Get everything.
It those gloves, they exfoliate your skin.
See, it's a problem in this society when we have to talk to adults about how to bathe properly, but then they want to talk about how they can't find a mate. It's got to go together somewhere in there.
Well, we've been
unless it's going to be two funky people.
Let me say this though, we've been socialized to this point.
Yeah.
Of washing. It's not across the board that this is how people.
It's how you're raised individually.
Is how you're raised.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And so, go find the people
that don't
wash every day, every other day, once, whatever. Find your tribe is all I'm saying.
You can listen. You know how
people don't.
You know how to find them. Deep breath. You know how to find your tribe. And it leads you right to them.
Find your tribe is all I'm saying. I mean, hey.
I'm going the other way when I smell that tribe, because I can't do it.
Everybody don't subscribe to brushing their teeth every day. Everybody doesn't subscribe to washing their body every day. And they're okay with that because they say it out loud.
Yeah, they do.
Publicly.
They're okay with it. I agree.
They're okay.
And they think it's
yes.
Socially acceptable.
They think it's socially acceptable.
Yeah,
it is not. It is not.
Yes.
It is absolutely not. Now, I never knew it was a thing because I thought, especially people of another hue, I thought they washed their hair every day.
No, because if
Because
they
they
did,
needed
it
to.
wouldn't be no lice.
Well, I was told that they had to wash their hair every day. So I'm assuming you wash your hair every day. You certainly
You
wash
wash
your
everything.
body.
Yeah.
But you said it would be no lice. I don't know what keeps lice away. With from what I heard, not that we can't get lice because we can.
I think it's the oil in our hair.
It's
so
the oil
yeah.
in our hair is quite kinky, the curliness of our hair, and so they can't move around and multiply in the way that they need to.
Right.
And we used to put a lot of heat in our hair.
Right.
Not so much anymore.
Right.
I mean, at least not me. But we have a number of us.
That was a throw at y'all chicks still pressing your hair.
No, there's a lot of us that have gone natural. I went natural-ish a long time ago, but I still pressed my hair for a long time.
Yeah.
After
men was getting finger waves for a long time too.
And then we used to get chemicals, and chemicals would kill them too. Yeah, chemicals would kill them too. Definitely. So but I don't know about that now.
It ain't we can't. It ain't possible. So, all right. Let me see. So I was getting into so can we were talking about relationships, but I want to since we still got about 15 minutes. I want to get into relationships, and this is happening more and more where brothers are coming home from prison from a lot of years, or they're waking up from addiction from a lot of years, and they're not reconnecting.
Waking up from addiction as in
getting clean.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting clean.
And they're not.
In a lot of instances, they're not being there for their children. They're not being held accountable for all the years that was missing. That was on them. Meaning, not just taking account for what you did and do better, because that's the path they're on, but also have a clear understanding that that child missed something, and that child don't know you. And because a lot of men will reach out, and if the child is not reacting to them the way they feel as though they should react to a father, the father's mad. But you ain't been daddy for 15 years.
The first thing that could be helpful if there was some support for men coming back into, or anybody coming back into society. Right. And so if there were a support system that existed for them to slowly get back into what they need to do, counseling services, and slowly introduce their children into it, their families into it, because oftentimes they just come home on the box, that's the ankle bracelet, for a little while, and they at whomever's house, and they just hanging out there now, and now everybody should come see them
and check up on
everybody, checking on them, give them what they need. If they have a child, the child's mother should come and bring the child, and you have to introduce these people to this. And sometimes in instances, I'm assuming that they didn't keep in touch with the child.
That's the
while they were there.
That's the major.
Because sometimes you keep in touch with the child, they talk to the child.
A lot of men do.
And so when they come home, it's an expectation the child's like, hey, dad's coming home.
It's already a basic relationship.
A relationship
established. But I'm talking about when there is no relationship, when a man just disappeared, whether it's because he got locked up, whether it's because he's running the street, whatever it was.
Well, a lot of times he wasn't a father before he went in.
Very true. Very true.
Right.
Very true.
And so now he in, and mom just never talk about him. As far as she's concerned, he could.
But it's not even on the mother. It's on the once you.
But them not knowing what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's on the mother, but hypothetical. I have a child, father in prison, and I never mention a father to this child
because he ain't around. I'm with you on that. I understand that.
Right. And then he gets out, and I'm like, hey, this dude's your father. That's not right. That is on you. You should have told
Yeah,
them
who their father
you
is.
have a father. He's not here right now.
Right.
His name is such and such. Maybe.
Yeah, depending on how old the child is. I'm with you on that. Because they're gonna ask. They'll eventually ask.
You might see him one day. You know, that sort of thing.
In this day and age, at least a picture or two.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
A picture or something like that.
Yeah.
It is on you to let them know that this person exists.
And if they have a grandmother or grandfather on the father's side,
yes, they
the grandmama gonna want to know.
Yes.
Unless you got about 10 of them. Unless you got about 2. Sometimes grandmas be like, nah, don't bring them over here.
Yeah.
But that'll be on how the son acts.
Yeah.
Most times.
It all depends.
Grandma might not keep them, but she want to know her grandkids.
But it would be helpful for them to know that this person exists.
I agree with that.
So that when they do come home, they reach out and the kid won't be like, where you been all this time?
But he gonna say,
talk to him.
No, but check this out though. Certain children are gonna say that anyway. Mm-hmm. And certain children are gonna push back and be negative towards them. And in my opinion, a lot of grown men that will bite their tongue in prison to come home and let certain things go when it comes to their children that they've been not around, they not treat me like they. Well, they don't know you, and and then this is how I say it: give them as much time as you gave the state. If you've been locked up for 8 years, work on you and your children's relationship for 8 years. If it don't pan out for 8 years, you walk. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
They don't want to be around you. I respect you moving on,
Right.
But don't give the state all that time and did a damn good job doing it. Because you're talking about all the good days you got, all the beefs you ain't get into that you could have, all the hustling you could have been doing that could have got your ticket right. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, but when you come home, you don't have no patience or no tolerance to groom your child to let them get to know you like that was me. This is the new me. Right. This is the new me.
Right.
You have
and you spoke about addiction. Yeah. Yeah. Addiction in itself is a daily process.
It definitely. One day at a time is real.
One day at a time. It's a daily process.
That's real.
And hopefully, again, I go back to the support, having the support, some counseling services or something. Counseling for everybody is very important. Everybody, at some point in time, how are people getting this trauma
off of them,
out of them, getting past it? And some people are like, I don't care. No, I'm over it. But you're not. Yeah,
it's got to come out some kind of way, or you have to deal with it some kind of way.
And all the medication in the world is not going to make it go away. Is not going to make it go away. I ain't even with
the medication. So.
Well, some people are. And
a lot of people are.
The stuff you deal with is still there. That medication don't make none of that stuff go away.
That's why you got to reach for the pill every 8 hours.
It doesn't even make you cope with it.
So what does it make you just numb to it?
I don't know what it does. I've never taken it.
Yeah, because that's what I don't know.
I can't speak on it.
Right.
But I'm just saying that's the route some people take. And it's just not necessarily the best route to take, because that's just like having an addiction, because you take this medication to get through your day. When you wake up, all of the stuff you took that medication to cover up or to be able to get past, it's still waiting for you.
You're not dealing with nothing.
You're not dealing with anything.
Yeah. You just have a doctor's appointment.
Figure out how to cope.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
I agree.
You have a doctor's appointment, go for that doctor, write that prescription up so you can get that. What is it going to help you do? Is it going to help you now? If you're taking medication that's going to help you focus on some things that you need to focus on, that's different. If you're taking medication to help you get some sleep, if that's what you need, some rest so that you can be able to get through your day better. Okay. Right. But you have people taking medication. Oh, I'm depressed. Let's evaluate.
But let's work on that.
Let's work on why you're depressed. Right. What's making you this way? Right. What's creating these feelings inside of you? And so many people are just living in their minds in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
You're living in the past. You're holding on.
You're letting it affect
all
today.
These things of the past, because you wouldn't be depressed if you weren't thinking about all of the bad things that happened to you. Yeah. Let's get present with ourselves. Yeah. Let's talk about and think about what we want for ourselves for the future. What's your next move? Yeah. And stop living back there, because every time you revisit it, you have those feelings all over again.
Yeah, you do.
And the feelings are overwhelming. And this is why you get depressed and you can't cope. Because you're reliving what's gone. You're reliving it. That's all we have is our memories.
You reliving things that you can't change.
You can't change it. You can't
And
control it.
it's when you living in
You're
the
literally
feelings
living
that
in
you
the
had
past. Yes.
that when it happened to you or
Yeah.
whatever the situation, however you were
Yeah.
living or whatever.
You're time traveling. And
Yeah.
literally, you're time traveling. Every time you think of another time, you're traveling yourself to that time.
Right. Yeah.
You're reliving.
You're putting yourself right there.
You're putting yourself right back there. A song could take you there.
Now I'll say this. When you start to grow and because your mind will still go back there, but you'll be like, I ain't damn anymore. Like, or it don't bother me like that no more. Or shit, I done did this and this since then. I'm stepping up. You'll get that inner peace through you pushing forward and pushing through. Not that we're not talking about it not being hard or difficult, or you ain't gonna drop no tears or none of that. Yeah. But pushing through, when you take them little steps and then you look back 3-4 months, you be like, okay, I'm getting in my mode. Right.
It's gone. Shake it now.
Right.
It comes up and you're like, oh.
Right. It's not that bad no more. Or now it's gone. The feeling gone. Okay.
Let's go.
Now you know you over it. I agree. Yeah.
Right.
So but it's even when the beginning of the show, the conversation was about incel. It's the same thing. Push forward, go toward, and people say go towards your pain. You might not have to take it that way, but that's what it is. You know something hurts you, but on the other side is always better.
Yeah, you got to go through it.
On the other side you can't go around it. Going around it, in my opinion, one way to go around it, when Coco say medication, you going around it.
Yeah.
You're going around it. You're not, because when the medication wear off, you're gonna be right where you was.
Feel your feels and get through it.
Get through it. So, and wait a minute, let me say this. I ain't telling nobody to stop taking their medication. I'm not saying that at all.
Not be hasty.
Yeah, dude. Everything, and if you are on, you should feel yourself.
Talk to your doctor about
definitely
it.
Definitely
and see some alternative things that you can do to get past some of the challenges that you have. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Talk to your doctor. Don't take advice from them.
Well, real quick, this is the DG show with Dana and Coco. Right now, we're live on TikTok on my page, The Angry Black Dude. We're live on YouTube, my page, The Angry Black Dude. And we're live on Facebook, the DG show with Dana and Coco page right now. We're trying to do about 5 or 6. Yeah, Dana not here right now. I know she probably watching though. I know your ass watching. But anyway, just had to put that out there. Do you want to give them your do you know your TikTok handle and Instagram?
My TikTok handle is Audrey Coco L. My Instagram is Coco Bling Things with a Z.
With a Z.
And Facebook is Audrey Coco. Let me see it.
Y'all ain't gonna spell that.
You're not gonna spell it right. It's all good. Look up Audrey Coco, you'll find it.
But yeah, it's I guess the show it just come down to, first off, you have to be honest about your own shortcomings. If you can't be honest about your own shortcomings, you're not getting no growth.
Shortcomings.
Yes, you do. You self-check. Don't act like you don't self-check periodically.
I do self-check, but
okay then.
I'm just 5'2", and I don't know being short is a problem until somebody who got a problem with me being short.
No, I'm not talking about shortcomings like that. That's your physical body. That's not something you can change. You shouldn't be. I'm talking about personality issues. I'm talking about social issues. I'm talking about
my sarcasm is just, I don't care who has a problem with that.
No, but if we're talking about relationships with your children or relationships trying to date someone. If you know that you're quick-tempered, you need to work on that. If you know it, but do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know if you're quick-tempered because people done told you.
Y'all. I'm damn near.
But you have to be able to self-check yourself.
I work on myself. I
do. If somebody's telling you the same thing and you done heard it from people that don't know each other, it's you.
Yeah,
that's you. So you just have to be honest with yourself to start any kind of process. as far as individual process.
There are a lot, if you don't want to work with people, there are a lot of self-help books.
Yes.
there
And
to help you.
videos and tapes. Yep.
Videos, there's tapes.
Yeah.
Look, YouTube University. You can go and find anything you need to do. You can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah. You just gotta work on it.
You have to work.
But you can bring it to reality.
Yes.
100%.
You can.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You can.
But Sunday, 7 to 8, right here, we getting back up and going in studio. We be around, folks. We be around. Anything you want to say?
Be the star that you know you are. Everybody's a star.
Everybody don't think they're a startup.
But you are. There were billions of the what do you call it? The little men that come out. Sperm. Billions of them. And you won. You got there. You're the winner. You winning coming out. You winning.
Y'all the best. Listen, the best sperm one.
You're the best one. You are a star. You here. You made it. How can you not know that you're a star?
That's true though.
It's
very not even just on that level. Depending on, I'm in my 50s. Depending on what age you are, you know that you went through some things. You know that some people that you perception wise you thought were stronger than you.
You here.
Maybe even smarter than you that didn't make it or aren't doing as well.
Yeah.
Or aren't doing with the perception of somebody, oh, they used to do this. What are you doing now? Right. Oh, damn.
You here.
All of that.
You've been through
Take all of that in. I'm with you.
You are here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You're a star. I don't care.
No,
you're a star.
Strong, sperm, strong.
That's it. Strongest one. You made it. Damn it, you here. And you still here. That is good. And you still, it is 2022. A lot of us didn't make it from 2019.
A lot of them got caught up in blowjobs.
Moved on from that part. Some of y'all brothers and sisters on them sheets. I mean, I'm just saying, they didn't make it.
Dearly beloved.
They didn't make it. Some of y'all got digested.
Oh man.
But
okay.
But no, I'm talking about you got here. That was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
You made it here to this time. And look at all that we've all been through in the last 3 years. Yeah. And you're here today.
And that's deep. The last 3 years, just that.
The last 3 years, you made it through the last 3 years. You're a star.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You're still here. After making it here, you're still here.
People was going bonkers being punished for 2 years. It was a whole bunch of people.
I loved punishment.
I didn't mind it either because I'm an in-the-house type person anyway. But I was getting outside every day because I was working, because I drive. Yeah. So I was still getting my freedom. You know what I'm saying? But I was by myself.
I'm about to go back in right now, have me some sweet pie.
Look at you. You still got leftovers?
No,
you still got
I
pie.
just have pie. I don't have leftovers. I just have pie. That's all I have.
Well, on that note, see you folks.
Good night. Didn't stop.